All right. Come on now. Maybe I do have to stand up front. Okay, so we already said adversity is not destiny. Cycles can be broken, healing's possible. Safe, nurturing, stable relationships are what heal. And we can balance our nervous system by using these tools. And I'm just going to move right on through some of this. I was told there's a lot of clocks and they're all different, so I think I've got 4 minutes left. So the resilient zone is where we hope we're living, right? Where we're mostly able to make it through even when things are complicated. And literally our body gets geared up to do something intense and then it settles back down again. And that's when we're in our balance zone. But they're the jolts that can bump us out of our zone, like stress or trauma, or just watching somebody else suffer. Or maybe something we're not even familiar with. We don't even know why we're feeling some kind of way in the moment. But a threat or a trigger bumps us out, and if we get stuck and amped up with a lot of gas pedal in our body, those things in the upper right box are some of the ways that you'll experience that. And this is all of us, right? This is not just some kids. This is adults, kids, all of us. So for those of us who've gone through a patch where it was really hard to sleep, we had a little bit of amped up gas pedal energy going on, bigger than we needed. And when we've had moments where we just feel exhausted and tired, you know, when my parents both died within 9 months of each other, and I was doing a lot of caregiving during all that time and grieving, you better believe I had some shutdown energy, some gas pedal energy physically. But it's such a different way of thinking about that rather than trying to say, oh, I think she's depressed, right? Depression is real. We want people who experience chronic depression to get the medication and the therapy or counseling that they need. But we also want to stop diagnosing everybody as having something that needs a pill and begin to notice that connection, community, and some simple tools that we have may be able to help us when we've gotten stuck and amped up or shut down, move back into that lime green place that feels a lot better. Very briefly, in terms of addiction, I will just say, imagine that I have a whole bunch of things that have been hard in my life in my memory bank. So my ringer, my smoke detector's ringing a lot. So what do you think would make me feel like I'm in my lime green zone, even if really I'm bouncing all the time in between anxious and hyped up or physical pain and shut down, numb, and physical pain? Substances might do it, right? It's like a synthetic experience of feeling better for a while. But y'all, it's not just substances like illegal ones. It's like if you've got 2 hours of paperwork still to go and it's 9 p.m., that bag of Oreos come out and do you good, all right? You get that work done and feel a little bit better, take the edge off, right? Or some of us come home from a big old day of work and we notice if we'll just have that very small glass of wine, we don't have an alcohol problem, truly. But that'll just take enough of the edge off that I won't scream at my children while I make dinner. So really, you see how those of us that are in the throes of active substance use disorder and all the rest of us may be trying to get back in our zone in some kind of way. I just want to show you that in your cool little folder you got given, you actually have this slide. This is a slide from Circle of Security Parenting. We have some graduates of Circle of Security in this room, for which I'm grateful. And Donna Hensley Beck and I are both folks that teach this or share this model with folks. It's an 8-week-long parenting model, hour and a half at a time, focused on any caregiver or adult, also early educators. Wow, anybody who's in early care or young child stuff, this is helpful information. But I just want to say that in 25 years of teaching, being with, offering counseling and therapy to children and families who struggle, as well as all of us, because we all struggle, this is the thing that I have found most helpful. Circle of Security Parenting. Donna is currently leading a group in Yancey County. She's in like the second week, so that group is closed now. But there are other opportunities for some of you all to become trained as facilitators in this. It's an opportunity for us to begin to reflect And what I'll say is, I believe, for those of you that are faith-based folks, that it fits really nicely with my understanding and theology of God holding all of us. Because we're supposed to be, as the caregiver or the parent, these hands that help a child have freedom to go out and explore and welcome a child back when they need their cup to be filled, or some comfort, or some protection, or for us to organize their feelings. And with little ones, that may even mean organize their body. Or big ones too, sometimes, right? And isn't that what God is doing with us all the time? I trust you to go out. I welcome you to come back. I believe you've got this. Of course you don't got this. And you're not alone, right? It's pretty neat. So this is another secular model, but I'm just throwing it out there in a church. And the motto of it is, for us as the caregiver or adult, to balance being bigger, stronger, wise, and kind. Whenever possible, follow our child's need, and whenever necessary, take charge. So this is not about going weak, but it's also not about being mean. So adversity isn't destiny. We can turn off the nervous system response when it's not needed. We can tip those scales to the positive. We can widen the resilience zone. I'm not going to do as much about some of these next slides, but I just want to give you a taste of what it would look like if you ever wanted to have this 2-day reconnect training. We're actually talking about, okay, so how do we talk to our survival brain, right? Well, as random as it sounds, we do it through something called the language of sensation. We'll talk a lot more about that, but basically it's brain science put into our nervous system. And each of those tools helps give us sensory input that remind our body we are safer than we thought we were. And we're actually on steady ground right now. So some of those look like pushing up against a wall. These are just quick little ones, and then there's some that run much deeper. I can basically swaddle my own nervous system, even though I'm 50, right here just leaning up against a wall or on the shower in the morning. If I notice the sensations of support and steady and all the things that happen to my body as I go, you know when you take that big deep breath and things just settle a little bit? Like after a good cry, or maybe after you've listened to a song you love on the radio, rocking out in your car. That deep breath is what we're looking for. And we can get it in a hot minute, whether it's in a hospital or an ISS room or right here at church or at your house. Come on now, work with me. Heavy work is another example. Some people call this man therapy. When you go out and weed eat and stack wood and chop things for a while and you feel better, guess what? It's not just men, it's women too. We all need that, and we got a bunch of 17-year-old men and women and 15-year-old men and women that are desperate for it. But we're telling them to sit still and be quiet. And it doesn't really work. It doesn't work with toddlers, and it doesn't work with big kids, and it doesn't work with incarcerated people, right? So what does work is to get the heavy input that we need. Occupational therapists will tell us all about it, right? This is another whole tool that we can't go into at length right now, but it's about how we can use the resources that already exist in our brain. These heavily traveled highways that are positive on the inside of our brain. Fancy word is neural pathways. And begin to rewire our brain around stress or trauma so that these good grooves are actually growing and the things that are hard are diminishing. And it's pretty incredible, and everybody can do it. And then the superhighways in our brain wind up firing things that are safer for us. And they help me show up as a mama more often here, rather than fussing at my kids and nagging my kids, or for some of us going out and doing things that we want to do and leaving our kids behind. Alrighty, so I do want to show you one video, very brief, and then we're going to end. And if you want to know more about how to get in touch with me, I've got some cards, and I'll also have the last slide up here. So I have to pull out of this for 1 second to do it. Bear with me though, it's worth it.